Hey everyone, welcome. We are starting our AGTA Live today with the Women's Jewelry Association. I'm really excited about this. Today we have Eve Streicker on for the AGTA Gem Diva Award winner, and we're going to have her log on right now. Just give us a minute. Let's see if she is there. Perfect. I think she, Eve, you're here.
Hi. How are you?
Amazing. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. Oh my God. And you're wearing the piece.
I am. How
I'm
could I
so
not?
excited. I had to get all my photos ready to show off today. So we're gonna share with everyone. Welcome. I just want to give everyone kind of a rundown of why we're here, what we're doing. We're on AGTA Gems, account, but we're actually representing the Women's Jewelry Association today in partnership with everyone. So this is a live interview with Eve Streicker. She is our 2020 Business Day Wear WJA Gem Diva Award winner from the AGTA Spectrum Awards. It's such a mouthful. And Eve, I'll start off by giving a little bit of background for everyone. As most of you know who are joining, there's so many faces. I'm so excited. Eve, I don't know if you can see all this, but there's so many people coming in to see you. This is great. Hi, everyone. So WJA, as you most know, in the industry, Women's Jewelry Association, we've been around for almost 4 decades. I'm the executive director, Jennifer Markas, and I'm based out of New York City. Eve, where are you calling in from today? I know that you're a traveler. I don't know where you are.
So I've been in New York City for the last 8 years. And then in March of last year, because of COVID, I moved to Massachusetts. And I'm officially leaving New York by the end of this month. I've sold my place there, and I don't know what the next chapter is exactly. I might end up in DC. I might stay around here, but
well, you have wonderful, wonderful design up there, wonderful creativity, and inspiration. I love Massachusetts, so I'm envious of the space you have up there versus New York City. So again, so excited to have you here. I just have a couple of notes. I want to make sure that we cover off on everything today. But just to give everyone just a little background, the Spectrum Awards are just the creme de la creme, right? I mean, these are the top awards. We're so excited to be part of this. WJA joined about 8 years ago in the Gem Diva category. We created it with AGTA. We're so proud of the women that are represented. And anyone can apply. You do not have to be a member of WJA to apply. You a female or female identifying to apply, and we have multiple categories. Eve, you won the Business Day Wear category, so this is very exciting because I know you have a lot of corporate experience. You know what works and doesn't get tangled in hair and all this. But I just want to share that, again, we're so sad to be missing Tucson. I remember, Eve, and I was just reminiscing this morning, preparing for this interview when you were an exhibitor last year. And I remember meeting your mother. I mean, it was so lovely.
My Vanna White booth assistant? Yes.
You had your assistant. I know. No, she was great. And, the energy in Tucson is so special. And, it's such a friendly, relaxed environment. Shout out to Doug Hucker and Cammie Sweeney. I hope they're watching today, and Tanner Vaughn with AGTA. They're our partners in crime, and we're so grateful for them to be able to shine light on the winners that couldn't exhibit in Tucson, but we're hoping to acknowledge you and the others multiple times this year in multiple venues. So Eve, let's jump right in. Enough about, all of this background. I want to give you a chance to describe your company. So Original Eve, kind of how it came about, how many years you take off there.
So I have now been in business with my independent jewelry design company for about 5 years. I'm in my 5th year now. And it has collections which are, you know, easy to wear, comfortable, really highlight unique gemstones. And I also specialize in doing custom work. So I do a lot of heirloom redesign, which has been really popular during the pandemic. People are finally at home and have time to go through their jewelry boxes. And so I'm recreating a lot of pieces that people already have. And then I do bespoke from scratch, sourcing the stones, designing for special occasions and milestones. So it's sort of like a one-stop shop for anything that you need jewelry. And it came about because I used to work, as you said, for larger companies. And I was always designing on the side. I have a master's in fine art and jewelry design. I have a gemological degree from GIA, and I have an art history degree from college. So I was always interested in things that were usable, wearable, and interacted with people on a more like emotional and psychological level, like jewelry does. But I also design homeware. So, you know, hey.
You're a true artiste, you know? Well, and on that note, I just have to say my favorite pieces by you that I've seen, you know, through your feed on a very constant basis, it seems like during the past year, have been these vintage heirloom pieces that you've repurposed. I mean, they're so stunning. I'm amazed. And I come from a like historical decorative art background, so I have a lot of appreciation for this for sure.
Yeah.
But
It's
you know,
so fun. You know, I have a few clients who like, well, I have a box of jewelry that a client gave me that's just like all kinds of stuff that they've inherited and just lives in the bottom of a jewelry box, and she's like, do whatever you want with it. Like, okay.
I know that's like when you know, it's interesting because I feel like you can be the most creative because you have a little bit of limitation there, right? With like the sentimentality of the piece and the, you know, the old gems or the metals, whatever you're able to work with. So no, that's awesome. And, you know, on that note, I guess this is self-explanatory, but what do you think, Eve, sets Original Eve Designs apart from other, you know, other jewelry companies or jewelry designers? You know, I think that that's something I'd love for you to highlight as well.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And I think that the main differentiator is honestly my experience, my background, because I have such specialty in gemstones. I taught about gemstones when I worked at Tiffany. I taught Tiffany employees about diamonds and gemstones, what made them unique, what made them special. But I really like delve into that when I design things. And I get so excited about unique shaped stones and things that are formed in really interesting ways that the storytelling of the gemstone formation becomes central to the pieces that I make. And that even translates into the custom pieces that I design, because the stones are so important to telling the story of whatever celebration is happening in somebody's life. So I often work with antique cut stones or things that have like a little bit of nuance or some sort of special character to bring out whatever is being celebrated between the people.
Well, and we're going to see soon, because I can't wait to share the pieces. You have such a beautiful, like, you have such an eye for sculpture and like sculptural quality. So, and I think you really see that in the piece that won the award. So we'll show that in a minute, but, you know, tell me why, you know, you're in your first 5 years. Why did you now decide to join or, you know, to apply for the AGTA Spectrum Gem Diva Award?
So 2020 was a rough year. I don't know if you know that. But
everyone, do you know that? Everyone on here.
I had a lot of time. And typically I design on the computer, but because I was home and I had just come back from Tucson where I got all kinds of amazing new stones, I was really just handling what I had, and I ended up carving the piece that won the award, which is something that I typically don't do. I have a jewelry background in handwork, but I spend most of my time on the computer. And I have had winning a Spectrum Award as like, someday when I own my own company, I will do this. This is like a lifelong bucket list dream thing. And it was, you know, I had the time to do it. And my mentor is Doug Hooker. And he was like, hey, what are you going to do? How are you going to reach people if you're not applying to these things? Like, get your name out there, do it. So I applied to everything last year. With WJA, I applied for a Corel grant. I won that, which was really exciting.
Very exciting.
uh, Jewelers of America, the Case Awards. I won one of those, which was really amazing. And, you know, the cherry on the top was the Spectrum Award, which is, I still cannot believe that I won a Spectrum Award. It's pretty cool.
I know. Well, it's like, yeah, you have your triumvirate, if not more. I mean,
Yeah,
for 2020, you made the year work for you.
I'm
I think.
sad that there weren't any of the galas to be able to, you know, get dressed up and show off the pieces in person. Like, this is this doing it justice? I don't know.
No, we're going to show it in just a second, because what I want you to do now, and just bear with me. I have some photos here. I think, is this the best one? I love this photo. Can you see? Everyone's seeing. We'll keep this up for a while. So describe here, because I want everyone to know, you know, you talked about carving this piece, you know, it has a sculptural quality. What was the creative process in going into specifically, you know, the idea of Business Day Wear, the award? You know, I'd love to kind of hear more about how you came about. I know we're hearing very pretty. It's gorgeous, right?
Yeah. So this is all about the pearl. I have a pearl dealer that I go and visit in Tucson, and I was walking around. I found this pearl when I first walked up to the table, and I was like, oh, I love this. It's so weird. It's got this cool ridge. It has this like elongated form. And I just held it in my hand while I shopped. And it was one of those things where I was like, there's something like super special about this pearl. And I picked out all the other things that I needed. And I was like, in this guy, you know, like, I gotta get this too. And the whole piece is about that specialness, that cool ridge that comes around the corner, the way that it like twists on itself. So the back of it is covered, but it has cutouts so that you can see that it's a really smooth form. And just the luster on this pearl is extraordinary. It has this like almost like wave to the front of it, and it captures these pools of color and light in like the most magical way.
Oh no, it's so gorgeous. I know I have this other, the one, it's looking more like your necklace, you know, on your neck right now. So this is the full. It's stunning. And just to kind of go deeper into, I love that you found the pearl last year, and I mean, this is like, it's full circle, you know, it's full circle. But explain, Eve, you know, really the importance of colored gems as well. You know, you also incorporate sapphire here, like, you know, share in your entire kind of scheme of work how important the gems are to you, because you are based in this.
The gems are everything. So
everything.
This piece has Montana sapphires in a graduation that go from the top, and they turn to diamonds as they come around the twist.
Yeah, look at this. You can see it here. Yeah.
They're like, it's like a deep purple right on the top, and then they scale in size to get a little bit smaller as they down towards the pearl. But the gemstones are everything to me. When I was getting my master's degree, it was the summer between 2 years that I sold engagement rings at this vintage store. And it was during that experience that I was like, oh, diamonds, this is how you make money if you want to be in the jewelry world. And also just the history of it. You know, you could take home a piece of deco architecture and a ring on your hand. And I decided that after I finished my master's degree in jewelry, I was going to go to GIA and just study diamonds. That was it, just diamonds. And I got there and I got behind the microscope, and there was this like colored gemstone class that was down the hall. And I was like, oh, they're having a lot more fun. Like, this is like, that's where I should be. And so I moved out to California and I studied all of the gemstones, and it was just like stone after stone after stone that they presented to us in all of the readings. I was like, oh, I thought sapphires were cool, but now we're reading about emeralds. Like, oh, I thought emeralds were cool. Now we're doing. So I fall down this like crazy rabbit hole when it comes to gems. And if I gravitate towards something, then it's just like, I don't know. I have to make something amazing with the special things that I find, and no two gemstones are the same. I don't care.
No, absolutely.
Like a very standard stone. I'm like, and send me 50 because I need two.
I love it. No, it was so interesting hearing about the process, you know, and I feel like, you know, you being up in Massachusetts, being near water, I feel like you have a lot of inspiration that's come to you, with the environment, like most designers. But tell us kind of a little bit about that. Did that have any weight on the creation of this?
Without question. So I have been living in New York for the last almost a decade. And when I left in March because of COVID, I moved back to where I'm from. And this area is right on the water. I'm actually on a barrier island in Massachusetts. So I walk the beach every day, and I'm still making, but without that pressure and the speed of New York City, I feel like the designs that I'm making just sort of happen more naturally. And the things that are coming out are better. And it's been really interesting because now, instead of laboring over what should this become, what should this be, I look at it and I'm like, oh, well, this is very obvious. Like everything just feels much easier in how it's coming out. So that, I think, shows itself in this piece because it wasn't something that I labored over for a really long time. As soon as I started carving, it happened.
Amazing.
Which is part of the reason why I'm like, wait, this won a Spectrum Award? But I didn't totally freak out about it all the time.
But maybe that's the reason, right? It's like it was so natural to you. It felt good. It has good energy. Well, and share, I mean, we all miss Tucson. It's like
so much.
Just seeing everyone, the weather. But what's your number one? Like if you miss so much.
So last year was the first time I had a booth in Tucson. I really am pretty much, I'm an emerging designer. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
5 years. So it was my first booth and I was so excited that things went so well at the show. And then within a month, all of the orders disappeared. All of the stores disappeared. It was so sad. So, this year I'm missing that momentum and that excitement that I walked out of there with at the end of last show. And then just seeing so many stones and seeing so many jewelry industry friends is the best part of Tucson. Like I love just connecting with people and learning from people and having people say, oh, you like that? Well, let me get something from the back of the safe. There's this like super exciting thing that's just contagious about Tucson. And I know next year is going to be even more incredible, but I'm mourning it this year. I miss it.
Yeah, we are hoping that a miracle happens and we will all gather at some point this year. So we're just waiting. We're waiting to hear.
August, Vegas, I don't know about that. Ooh, it's hot.
It's a bit hot, but we can definitely see. I mean, just like you said, Eve, it's all about relationships. It's that you run into someone you've never met before. They show you something just you've never seen. I think that was my big takeaway from last year too. And what I miss the most is just the learning. And as an educator as well, your experience, I feel like you just absorb so much, and that really shines through in your work. And I know WJA is so proud of you, and this is such an honor for us to be able to share today on AGTA all the good work that you've done and the award. And just last piece, because we're going to sign off soon. Any advice for someone applying to the awards, to creating and starting a business? I know that's a big loaded question, but
huge, yeah. And the way that the world is right now, I think that anything that used to be true is probably not true anymore, and something that somebody else is using for success is not going to necessarily lead you to the same success. So I've been most successful when I've just followed my gut, as was the case with this piece.
Sure.
And I think that that's just the truth to it. Like you just need to be authentic with your brand, with your vision, with your creativity, and success will follow you there.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like the best we can all do, right? It's like listen to our intuition. I know our theme this year for WJA is building resilience, and obviously last year we all were very, it was a trying experience to keep, resilient minds. But I think, what you shared, your work showcases that, has that strength to it. And thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, AGTA, for allowing us to host on here and sharing Eve. And next week, we actually have Paula Trebuchet, who is one of our Gem Diva winners. So I know, Eve, you got to come back for that.
Oh, I will. she sent me a note congratulating me on the Spectrum Award. I was like, oh my God, it's Paula Crabtree.
I know. We're very excited to host her, and then we have Kathleen Kerr the week after. So it's a great month for highlighting, you know, wonderful women who are in this industry and who've won our awards. And thank you so much, Eve. Good luck to you the rest of the year, and we'll be seeing more of you for sure.
Yes, I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.